Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to the Boomsday Project Puzzle Lab live stream. My name is Chris, and I'm a community manager here on the Hearthstone team, and I'm joined by the one, the only lead mission designer, Dave Kosak.
Hello, hello, hello.
Dave, how we doing?
Hey, good. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they gave me control over the microphones here. I have all the power. If I don't like what Chris is saying, just turn him down.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and what they don't know is that I was actually just telling Dave this, the microphone actually snapped off the hinge last night, so we had to make a trip to Target to get some Gorilla Glue. So the thing is, it's holding up there, Dave. So
hello.
It is a A+ job. A+
Still
job.
Going.
Professional. So this is what we do here. Rock and roll. But so Dave, Boomsday Project's been out for about 2 weeks now.
Yes.
So I'd love to hear from you. Are there any specific plays or decks from the community that you've been super stoked on?
There's a couple things we've been watching that have been a lot of fun. Giggling Inventor, we knew was going to be a factor. We're seeing that in a lot of decks. What's interesting to me is not the Giggling Inventor's there. Like, she's just a great card. She could kind of slam the brakes on anybody.
Absolutely.
What's interesting to me is how people are countering Giggling Inventors. So, like, Mossy Horror from the Witchwood has come back in a big way.
Seen a massive return.
Right, right. Blood Knight, good old Blood Knight, suddenly is a way to kind of slurp away those divine shields and really turn Giggling Inventor against yourself. That's fun. So it's fun to see how people are responding to that one. I think the weirdest deck we saw was a priest deck using Reckless Experimenter and Mechathune. And what we loved about it was it used Ticking Abomination. Like, someone found, like, I'm gonna make this card work.
I lost to that deck yesterday, actually. Thank you for reminding me, Dave. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Ticking Abomination making a comeback. Who would have known? He found a place in the lab.
Absolutely. I know it was a card that I was extremely surprised to see make the comeback, but Mossy Horror has been super great to see. I know I've seen a lot of people running it in decks that have been countering. I know I've been playing Odd Rogue, and I have also put Blood Knight in, so it's been really great.
Odd Rogue
to counter.
Is really big. Yeah.
Eventer. Yeah, it's been super good.
Egg decks have been. We've seen a lot of people playing with egg decks.
Yep.
That's fun. That's
Absolutely.
fun. Death Rattle Rogue. Egg Paladin is super fun.
Yeah.
Play Egg Paladin. And then I think the one that, well, at least surprised me, Odd Warrior is coming in a big way.
Interesting.
And
I haven't played against that one yet.
Is the Super Collider. The Super Collider is really showing its stuff.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, is my favorite. Like, what would a warrior do for science? I don't know. It's a hammer.
For science.
Science. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Smash a minion against another minion.
Yeah.
Boom.
We have science, folks. There you have it.
Science is happening as we speak.
Exactly. Yeah.
But today's a big day, though, because today...
Absolutely. Dave, what are we here for? Can we talk about that?
Yes. Today, the Puzzle Labs are unleashed upon the world. There it is.
That is awesome.
Puzzle Lab face.
Yeah, and this is your baby, right? You're a lead mission designer, so this solo adventure, the Puzzle Lab, this has been all your thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You and the team.
This is what the mission team's been working on. So, yeah, and it's a very collaborative effort. Like, we'll talk about this later for sure. But like a lot of people were involved in creating just the UI and the mechanics and how it should feel to solve puzzles in Hearthstone. So a lot of people worked really hard on this, and we're really excited about it. It's a new thing. It's a new thing for Hearthstone. So.
It feels really great. I know. I was actually gathered around. I was playing through it yesterday, and I had a couple guys gathered around me, and we spent probably like 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out this one puzzle, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it's been really cool to see the collaborative effect that this solo adventure has had, in particular, where people can gather around as friends and then play this together and see what's going on and watch some people mess up. I know I completely just screwed up so many times and looked like a dummy. So
when we were like figuring out to do puzzles, I don't think we thought about the collaborative nature of it. And just while we were playtesting all the time, you'd see people gather around somebody's desk and like they would just form a little huddle, like a puzzle huddle. And it's actually really fun. It's really fun to play this cooperatively, like to grab your tablet or whatever and sit with a friend and go through puzzles together. It's super fun.
It's been super awesome. So speaking of that, like, I'd love to know more about what is Puzzle Lab. Can we tell the viewers at home, like, what is Puzzle Lab?
So a puzzle for Hearthstone is we're going to set up a board state for you. We're going to give you some cards. We're going to set up the board for you. And you have one turn to find the answer to some kind of puzzle. So
only one turn?
One turn, yeah. And depending on, we have 4 different puzzle types. So let's go through them, right? So there's lethal puzzles, and that's, I think a lot of people are familiar with lethal puzzle. It's been around in the community for a long time. And you kind of always, sort of just while you're playing Hearthstone, you will stumble across a lethal puzzle. You'll be like taking your turn and like, I know I can get this guy. I just figured out the right play. I know I have lethal on the board. But through the miracle of science, in the Puzzle Lab, you're guaranteed lethal. We know there's a way. There's an answer to this puzzle. You just have to find it. You have to find the lethal. And with all of our puzzles, we start off very simple and get more and more challenging. We try and ramp up really, really challenging.
Absolutely. And I experienced that yesterday and completely botched it. So that was great. So you guys did a wonderful job.
It's a puzzle. What's nice about the puzzles is unlike playing on the ranked, there's no fuse. There's no timer. You can stare at that puzzle until you get it.
Right.
Yeah. So lethal's one type of puzzle.
Okay.
We have board clear puzzles. And board clear, the object is you have one turn, clear all the minions off the board.
Sweet. That sounds like fun.
If they have a death rattle that summons another minion, that's a pain. You got to figure out how to do that.
Cool.
What I love about these is they all kind of feel very sciencey. That's one reason we did it with this expansion.
Really? For science?
Yeah, for science.
For science.
It's so often to clear the board, you got to create like the perfect chain reaction. This guy's death rattle, this guy's death rattle fires off this thing, and then boom, 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 and then the board's clear.
Super, super cool.
Yeah, it's very, very awesome. We have something called survival puzzles. So survival is you have one turn to get to full health because there's a frickin' missile pointed at your face or a laser and it's going to zap you at the end of the turn. So you have one turn to get ready.
I don't want to be zapped, Dave. I don't want to be
zapped. It's too bad. You're going to get zapped. Oh. It's going to do exactly 29 damage because they're very precise. Science is very precise. But if you're at full health, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a chance.
You have a chance.
To not get the laser pointed at my face and get zapped.
Well, no, the laser's in your face. Yeah.
Ooh.
You have a chance of living.
Awkward. Good.
It's the beauty of science. You have a chance.
I love it. I love this
You
guy.
have a chance.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then let's see. We haven't talked about. Mirror. Mirror is the last type of puzzle.
Super cool.
So mirror is something really kind of weird we've been experimenting with.
Right.
A mirror puzzle is you have to match the top of the board with the bottom of the board. You have to match the board state on both top and bottom.
Awesome.
Yep. So that means all the same minions in the same order with the same attack and health.
Oh, so wow. Health, too?
Health, too, yeah. So if a minion is wounded at the top of the board, the minion has to be wounded at the bottom of the board.
I love that. Yeah. That's super cool. So, like, if you're playing Priest, using your hero power maybe to heal the enemy could actually be a really cool thing to actually get you to...
There's lots of different ways to kind of noodle with that puzzle to try and see what you can do to make a match.
I love it.
And
that's awesome.
All the puzzles really sort of make you think about Hearthstone mechanics in different ways, and you really kind of create this little nested logic loop in your head as you try and master this. Oh, I hit the Gorilla Glue, Mike. It's gonna go. It's gonna go.
It didn't fall. We're good. We're good. That's great.
Yeah. No. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That's
science.
Awesome.
Science.
I love science.
Science
it's great.
is happening. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you guys have been, experimenting with a bunch of different PvE modes. And so I'd love to know, and I'm sure the viewers at home, again, would love to know this as well, what inspired Puzzle Lab and maybe what's on the horizon? What can we expect?
So puzzles have been floating around the community for a long time. You can go to websites and see, lethal puzzles in particular. And we actually had our live events team put together a tavern brawl at one point of like lethal puzzles. And it was interesting, but it seemed to, it really showed us like, we kind of need some UI to sort of make this feel really good to solve puzzles. Right. And so when we were figuring out what to do for Boomsday, it's an expansion about weird science, thematically this fits. It feels like science is happening here. Someone said that the mirror puzzles feel like balancing chemistry equations, like making them equal out. It definitely feels like you're experimenting. So we felt like this was the expansion to do it in.
That's so good.
And so we went back to that tavern brawl and said, like, how do we make this work? Right. And this actually took a lot of effort. Like, one of the things is we want you to be able to restart the puzzle really quickly. So we replaced the end turn button with a reset button. And that's nice. And this is a tip while you're playing. Some people solve puzzles, like they stare at it for a long time, and then they make their move. And some people just want to try stuff. And we want you to feel free to try stuff. That's part of like solving the puzzle. Throw some minions out there, see what happens. If you don't like it, you hit the reset button, and it goes and resets the whole puzzle very quickly.
That's cool.
And that's something we worked on with the art team, the UI team, like everybody all got together. How do we make it so we can reset a board really quickly and you go right back to solving the puzzle? So
well, and the thing that I noticed that was really fun about doing it was even when, like I said, we had the two guys around my desk and we were going through it and we were like, oh my goodness, how do we get this thing done? I remember one of the guys on my team, Drew, was actually running through it and was like, dude, that's totally the solve. Like, it's absolutely the solve. And I did it and it completely didn't work. And I was like, Drew, you were super confident, but even
not
though
the solve, Drew.
Right, not the solve, Drew. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it. No, thanks, Drew. So we actually were able to reset it, and even though we went back and we're trying all these different solutions, like it was fun to be able to theory craft and strategize together for that collaborative effect to see how can we get this puzzle solved. I had a ton of fun with it. We got some laughs and some chuckles of like, dude, you're crazy. That was a terrible thing. Why did you just try that? So
I'll tell you the worst part. You try the Drew solution, it doesn't work. You struggle with the puzzle another half hour, and then later on you solve it with the Drew solution. You're like, wait, I thought I tried that. I thought I did that thing, but there's always a different, like, play order matters in a big way. And sometimes, you're so close, and then you don't do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know I'm going to get a call from Juliet. He's going to be like, Chris, I heard that you mentioned me on the stream in the not best of light. Drew.
So the Drew,
that was the heart.
The Drew solution is now our nickname for the wrong
answer.
Drew solution. The Drew solution. No,
that's
man,
good.
You totally drewed that puzzle. You drewed it.
I love it. So, Dave, another question that I had that I'd love to ask: is there anything new or unique, specifically to the Puzzle Lab, that viewers can expect?
Yeah, we tried. There's a few cards in there. There's a few unique cards that we built puzzles around. So, like one of my favorites is it's called the Spud ME. I call it the hot potato bomb. It's basically, as you'd expect from Dr. Boom, it's a potato clock strapped to some explosives. Anyway,
I love the name.
It's a minion that, when it takes damage, switches sides of the board.
Right.
And Death Rattle is destroy whatever hero is currently holding the hot potato bomb. So the object of the puzzle is you kind of like bounce this thing back and forth, and you want to get it on the other side when it explodes.
Super cool.
Yeah. Hot potato bomb, Spud Emmy. Yeah. Right. So there's like a whole series that gives us a whole series of puzzles that we can do. But what's also fun is using cards just in an unusual way. So Defile, the Warlock spell.
Yeah.
1 damage if it kills anything. Repeat the spell. That's super fun. There's like a whole series of puzzles we can do just with Defile, where you sort of create the ideal setup for like the perfect Defile turn to get the maximum chain reaction. Science. Feels like science. Yeah.
We keep saying it, folks. Science. That's
here.
great. So that's really cool. I love the fact of bringing some simplistic elements, like you said, like the hot potato aspect. I know I played that when I was a kid, and it was a really fun game that, a bunch of friends would get together. But then utilizing already existing components within Hearthstone, like Defile, to continue that. That's super, super awesome. Cool. Thanks so much for answering that. So I was also curious, too. I know I'm a big lore fan, so I was curious to see, is there any, story intertwined with the Puzzle Lab? Like, does Dr. Boom make a return?
Yeah, so we struggled early on. We're like, hey, what kind of story do we want to tell here? And something important about the Puzzle Lab is that you can, if you get stumped on one puzzle type, the other puzzle type is open. You can jump over to it. So if you're stuck on a lethal puzzle, you can jump over to board clear and play some of those puzzles for a while, and then you get stumped, you kind of go back. And you can jump around the lab in any order. And for that reason, we didn't really want to have like a linear story. That wasn't really about story. Really, it was about the place. We want you to feel like we call it a romp. You're just romping through the lab. You're meeting all the scientists. You're seeing what they're doing. And they all have their own reasons for doing what they want to do. Like Zarek, the master cloner, of course, he's in the mirror lab. You're trying to clone everything. Why would you need to clear the board? Well, Professor Flabidinus Floop, he needs to grow all his plants. He needs to clear the field. We've got to get rid of these pesky minions so he can grow his plants. And we have our art team work together to create those little moments of solving a puzzle, and then like you can see the whole lab blooms. Little crazy stuff happens like that. So you get to meet all the 8 scientists working with Dr. Boom and their assistants, and you get to kind of romp through the lab in any order, solving puzzles, doing science.
So wait, so you said there's 8 scientists and assistants, right?
Yeah.
So like there's assistants.
8 scientists, 8 assistants,
so, but there's 9 classes in Hearthstone. Dave, where's the 9th?
It's Dr. Boom. Dr. Boom is the warrior scientist, but we wanted to do something special with him. So the most challenging puzzles we moved to Dr. Boom. So the way it works is once you master a certain puzzle type, like you finish the last lethal puzzle, then you open up a special wing at the bottom of the interface. Then Dr. Boom has a series of lethal puzzles for you.
That's a pretty booming thing, if you'd ask me.
He did that. That's
pun intended.
That just happened.
Sorry, folks.
So the Dr. Boom puzzles are the most challenging, and often while we were designing these puzzles, we're like, oh man, wow, that solution is really weird. Let's move that to Dr. Boom.
Absolutely.
So Dr. Boom, he has puzzles of every type. So once you master every puzzle type, you get to go down to Dr. Boom, and then you try and beat Dr. Boom's version of the puzzle.
Oh, goodness.
And he's there giving you helpful advice. And basically being Dr. Boom. And
that's super cool.
Yeah, you sort of get this vague sense that even Dr. Boom doesn't know what the Boomsday Project does, and it all starts to unravel on him, and it's super fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so one of the things I wanted to say too, for those of you who are viewing at home, the Puzzle Lab is live now. You can go in and play, which is super great. Really cool. If you log in right now, you get 3 free Boomsday Project card packs. I am super excited about that. Yeah. I love free packs. Hello. Free packs, courtesy of Dr. Boom. Absolutely.
No strings attached.
Absolutely. Now, and Dave, I was going to ask you too. So if there's over 100 puzzles, right?
Okay. 124, I think, is our final number.
That's a lot of puzzles.
There's a lot of puzzles.
Okay. So if I complete all those, what do I get?
There's a special Boomsday card back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you get the special Dr. Boomsday card back to show off. Yeah. We didn't want to, I want to encourage everybody to, I'm certain within 10 minutes from now, all the answers will be posted online. I want to encourage people, don't look up the answers. There's a card back at the end of it, but we purposely didn't put the packs. We're giving you the packs at the beginning. You don't have to earn those packs. We're giving them to you to celebrate the launch of it because we want you to just enjoy the puzzles. Some of them are hard, but if it takes you half an hour to solve a puzzle, it's just all the more satisfying it's going to be when you crack it. So there's no pressure. You don't have to rush through these. The puzzles are there. There's a lot of puzzles.
Absolutely.
Take your time. Enjoy it.
For sure.
Savor the puzzles.
Yeah, and the thing I kind of noticed that was awesome too when I was playing through them was even just it almost helps build those mechanics for those who may not be in that advanced level tier of play with Hearthstone to try out some new things and experiment for when you're playing louder to try out some new things, which I thought was super cool.
You'll start to learn some weird combos, and through things like board clear or mirror puzzles, you'll start to learn how to manipulate minions and death rattles in weird ways. You'll start to kind of build up a little bit of a little Hearthstone lexicon of tricks you can do.
Lexicon, good word.
Yeah, lexicon of tricks, that will help you out. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. That's awesome. Now, Dave, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. I know you got things to do. You got places to
puzzles to solve.
He's got puzzles to solve and a card back to get. I was curious to see, before we go, is there a specific puzzle type or anything in particular that you're just super excited to watch the community unfold, once we get into this thing?
I think, for me, the mirror puzzles are really interesting. And what's interesting is the solution, like a lethal puzzle, there's definitely a solution. There's so much health. You got to get the enemy health down to 0, right? With a mirror puzzle, it's not so cut and dry. It's like if there's a minion on the board, you can destroy the minion so that you don't have to worry about it. You can make a copy of the minion. If the minion's wounded, like you said, do I heal the minion or do I put out my own minion and then have to damage it? There's so many different ways to kind of solve a mirror puzzle. It really racks your brain, and I think that's super fun. I can't wait for people to check that out. Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to say, to everybody at home that's been hanging out and rock and rolling with us?
Happy Boomsday!
Happy Boomsday!
Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna get Regis in here in a second.
Yes. So we're gonna go cut to a quick transition video for those of you who didn't get a chance to see our "Here Comes the Boom" video.
Here comes the boom! I love this one. If you haven't seen it,
that's right. Yeah, it's so good. So we're gonna play that. We're gonna have RegisKillbin come on, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna go through some of the puzzles and maybe even give you at home a chance to help us out with some of these puzzles. But Dave, thank you so much for coming. Dave has a really long journey. He's got to cross the street to get back to his building and continue doing awesome things in the design team. So thank you so much for all that you've done, and for the rest of the Hearthstone team, and for those of you at home for tuning in. We'll be right back, so give us just a moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
And welcome back, folks. We have some, a new face. I mean, I guess some if we've got lab coats and goggles on, and it's really hard to see through these things. But, folks, for those of you at home who don't know, this is RegisKillbin.
Hey, everybody.
Regis, say hello.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, he said hey. That's a double hey. But so for those of you who don't know who Regis is, Regis, can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah.
What you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a Twitch streamer, like a lot of people out there, and a YouTuber. And I think I focus on fun, first and foremost. I think Hearthstone's a fun game. So I play a lot of weird decks, a lot of crazy ideas. We test out all kinds of cards. We try to make everything work. And also, I think we focus on education a little bit, too, on my stream, just making sure we're friendly for budget players and new players and growing players. So ultimately, it's a fun place to hang out. I have, like, the best community on Twitch. Everybody is always so nice. If you come hang out in my chat, you're going to make friends instantly. I mean, literally in the game, people will ask you for invites to be on your friends list.
That's awesome.
So you can complete all those challenge quests. Everybody's going to be super nice and helpful. So I'm like the luckiest dude in the world, I think, as far as streaming and Hearthstone is concerned.
That's great. By the way, I'm loving the double glasses effect right now. You got the glasses underneath of the goggles.
I'll tell you what,
hanging out with everybody.
My cheeks are too big. I don't know if you probably don't have this problem. My cheeks are so big that they keep pushing the glasses up. I got
You're just a happy-go-lucky guy. I love it, man. That's so good.
Every time I smile, they crawl up a little bit. but I don't want to mess up the hair, right? So we've got a dilemma.
The suave haircut. Yeah, I have a feeling we're probably going to need to take these goggles off here, and we're going to have lines completely covering our face. He's already taken. Yeah, we're gonna take these off real quick, folks. It is really difficult to talk.
See the game.
Give us 1 second. Yeah, he can hardly see the game. So I'm taking these. There we go. All right. Well, now that we're human beings again on some level, that is great. So it was really cool. The way that I got introduced to Regis, actually, there was a Reddit clip that got posted of you where I'm forgetting the name of the card, but I remember you just chanting.
Hadronux, I think.
Yeah, you were like, "We're gonna steal the Hadronux. We're gonna steal the Hadronux." And then you did, and then the guy just conceded.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, this guy's hilarious, and I just loved the chat. It was so good. It was so much fun. And so I remember reaching out and being like, man, this guy's doing some really good stuff. We'd love to get him plugged into the scene and see what's rocking and rolling. And it's been really cool. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out his stream, I highly suggest it. He does some really awesome things. Even just he calls himself a memer. Just a lot of fun and loves to play the game. And you're good. You're pretty good at it too. Way better than I am.
People say I'm goofy and we play fun, goofy stuff. And that's true, and that's my focus. I'm not that worried about being competitive. But I have technically finished on the leaderboard before, so top 200 at the end of the season. Ooh. So I do have a little bit of a competitive background and some chops as far as being good at the game. It's just, you get caught up in Twitch, you're having fun, you're talking to people. You tend to let things slide a little bit. You miss some details here and there.
For sure.
That's exactly why I'm excited about the Puzzle Lab. I don't have Twitch chat distracting me right now, although I can kind of see you guys over there. Barely.
A little bit. A little bit. We try to hide it for him.
Maybe we'll be able to concentrate. I'm still a little nervous. I'm still thinking we're probably going to make some mistakes. But hey, you've seen these before, so you can help me out, right?
I'm probably still
going to give me
bomb
some
it.
tips and tricks.
Yeah. Well, like I said, thankfully, we do happen to have you guys at home on Twitch chat open on the side windows. That way, we can call out for some help if we're stuck in a bind. So real quick, though, for those of you who may have just tuned in, again, we're here celebrating the Puzzle Lab launch. It's live right now, so you can jump in and go enjoy this brand new solo adventure. We just had Dave Kosak on. He is the lead mission designer. He was talking about, what was going on and just the mission team designing and the methodology behind it and just all the cool things that they've been working on behind the scenes. Right now, if you log in, you get 3 free Boomsday Project card packs, and that's awesome.
I like free packs.
Who doesn't like free packs? Free packs are great. And then if you complete, the over 100 puzzles, you unlock the Boomsday card back, the exclusive Boomsday card back, which is so awesome. And by the way, I keep saying card pack, card back.
We know what you mean.
Thank
I think
you.
you got it. I think you got it. You're good so far.
All right, so let's get in this, folks. We're gonna play some of the Puzzle Lab now. Granted, we don't want to play too much because we know you at home want to get in and get your hands and feet wet and play. So we don't want to show too much of what's going on, but we want to give you a taste of the Puzzle Lab and have some fun. So Regis is actually going to do some controlling here, and I'm actually excited to see him actually get in here.
Oh boy, I'm nervous.
I'm nervous for you.
So you've already tell us what we're doing here. What's the process?
So what we'll do. So again, folks, like Dave mentioned, these puzzles ramp up and they become more challenging as time goes on. So they start off, a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more simplistic, and essentially within each puzzle type. So lethal, for instance, you see that first lab that is open. They're a little bit more simplistic. We're gonna start there, and then we're gonna level it up a little bit. We're gonna go into mirror, and you see lab 2 is open. We're gonna jump in and do a couple puzzles of those. Again, we don't want to do all of them because we want you guys at home to hang out and enjoy and see what's rocking and rolling. Yeah, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So let's start off with lethal. Let's.
Yeah, it's super funny. The artwork for Lab Recruiter is the first little coin here. He's recruiting us.
He's recruiting us.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so this is the very first puzzle. Okay,
let's do it.
This must be Myra Rot Spring.
That is Myra Rot Spring.
Okay,
let's
cool.
jump in.
And so these are going to get more challenging over time.
They will.
So that, to me, means this one should not be particularly challenging.
Correct. This is the first one we're just starting off. So again, super intuitive. It's meant to be simplistic. It's meant to help you understand, what's going on and help you get super plugged in.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, it's great to have an introductory system for new players to learn the game and understand the game. So
absolutely.
Okay. I always love all the voiceovers and all the extra little touches in these modes. It's so fun. So you're right. This looks pretty easy. We only have a limited set of options here.
Right.
So it looks like we're going to be spending all of our mana. And
let's spend it.
And
can he get it on the first try, folks? Can he do it? I think he can.
I finally solved lethal.
Oh, he did it. Dude, you're going to get the legend in no time. Look at this. That's awesome.
It's still haven't hit legend this month, so I wish this counted.
I even love Poison Master Polar. I love his line where he's like, wait, you're recruiting me? Like, I didn't sign up for this. What's going on?
Nice. Wow. This has wild format cards too now. I see we've got Ice Lance.
Yep.
From the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool.
So like Dave mentioned, so there's some really cool things that do come up that's exclusive to Puzzle Lab. Like that hot potato effect, which is really cool. But then you'll see some things like Frostbolt. It's a pretty common card that people see when playing Mage.
It's funny. I actually almost misplayed here. Oh, I did.
He already misplayed. Oh my goodness!
Look,
what is going on?
It's already.
Oh goodness gracious!
So look, you have to actually use the Ice Lance. I didn't count our mana. See, look, literally.
So you want to know what's funny?
Second puzzle.
So when I did this one,
I was listening to you.
I literally played and did the exact same thing.
It's your fault. It's 100% your fault. You gotta think about Ice Lance. This is like old school freeze mage. Like this brings back memories.
There you go.
And honestly, a lot of players might not be familiar with things like Ice Lance if they haven't been playing wild format. So you do have to actually read the cards even this early in the puzzles. You need to pay a little bit of attention, and you can see how quickly this is starting to get tough. Whoa, this is a lot of cards.
Well, and it's cool too because for those of us who have been playing, ladder, and you get so used to, the advanced mechanics, like even coming back to something that's, a little bit more back to basics, can be challenging because you overlook things and you're like, oh. It was the order of operations, right? The step one approach.
Well, yeah, and I think one of the biggest mistakes people make in Hearthstone constantly is not keeping track of your mana, and that's exactly what I did on that turn. I thought I could play all 3 cards, look, and hey, you miss out.
Right.
So here it looks like we're going to have to utilize Wind Fury, and I think one neat trick with what this mode is going to be like is just recognizing sort of the most powerful card. Now, I haven't seen all the puzzles, of course, so... Right. But identifying like, okay, Wind Fury is the thing that could give me the most damage, the most output. And I'm sure for some people this is going to sound simple or obvious, but there's a lot of Hearthstone players out there who still need to kind of learn how to think about and process through a turn and move through things in a sensible fashion. So, identifying your strongest element, how can I complement that? How can I feed all of this into that one thing that gives me the most bang for my buck, essentially?
Right.
So... that's a neat little trick.
That's awesome.
And how many of these lethal puzzles are we going to go through here?
So we'll probably run through 1 or 2 more. Again, we just want to give that introduction. Don't want to solve all of it.
Yeah. So here it looks like we have some trading mechanics. I'm kind of just playing through these instead of thinking about them. Like Dave mentioned, there's sort of 2 approaches, right? You can just start clicking buttons, or you can sit down and really start to process it and think about it. I think it's a little more fun to just start going through stuff. And I have a feeling here this one's going to be teaching us all about minion positioning.
I would agree.
And just ensuring that, you can put minions in between other minions here, get your Stone Tusk boars.
Yep.
on each side of that flame tongue totem. Now, you know, that was a pretty simple version because we didn't have minions already on board. They weren't like moving over, but I'm sure there will be more complex examples of this where it's not all charge minions and you have to really piece through
absolutely
how to position your things appropriately. Ooh, this one's exciting.
Yeah, so like I said, it's cool because a couple different things get you know, starts to ramp up, get involved. So
yeah, okay. So
we'll probably make this the last one for the lethal, and then we'll check
cool.
out some other stuff. For sure.
I don't think our hero power is going to matter much here at achieving lethal. So
you think so?
I think what we need to do is maximize the number of minions on board.
Absolutely, I'd agree.
But we may actually use our hero power.
Hey, see, look, he speaks too soon, doesn't he?
Yes. We have a shield slam.
Yes.
So
this is actually one of the ones that, again, the guy Drew that I mentioned before, we were going through, and he's like, oh, yeah, man, that's super easy. We do this. And I thought the same thing.
I think we need to shield slam our own minion here.
Let's try it out.
And the reason for that is because we want to make sure these numbers add up to 6 to get through this taunt perfectly. And since these have rush and not charge, they can only attack the minion.
This is true.
So if we shield slam, we're kind of wasting. It doesn't actually probably matter, I guess, now that I think about it. But we need to make sure the order happens properly. Oh, is this actually...
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
This should be right. We're going to add up to 4. So there might have actually been 2 ways to do that. You probably could have shield slammed.
There you go.
Actually, no, you had to get that in the right order, because if you shield slammed too early, the whirlwind would have killed the minion.
Correct.
You wouldn't have been able to make the trade with the rush minion. So that was a pretty complex puzzle already, actually. There were...
And I made that same mistake literally when doing this.
There were quite a few things that could have gone wrong there.
Yeah.
Just making sure that you maximize the number of minions on board when casting your whirlwind.
Absolutely.
But also setting up plenty of trades.
Absolutely.
So
let's go ahead. Okay, cool. So we'll stop here as far as the lethal ones. Again, we don't want to get too in the weeds. But see, that literally Dave just talked about taking Abomination. It's like, wow, some of these cards they're popping back up, and it's like, okay,
I'm glad we stopped here because I don't know what to do. I don't want to think about this one.
We'll just wait. We're gonna jump into lab number 2 here for the next puzzle type. So let's leave. Let's back out. That was cool.
Oh,
you just let Polark win. What are you doing?
I never concede.
I just baited you into that.
I don't concede in Hearthstone. That's kind of a thing I do. I want to always fight it out to the very bitter end. You know, I want to try to win. I don't want to give up too soon. Too many people give up too soon.
So real quick, and as you can tell too, the thing that's cool. So if you end up going into puzzles, right, and you don't finish it. So if you do finish it, you'll notice there's a check mark on that puzzle lab in particular for mirror. If you do not finish it, like for instance, we backed out. You know, Regis said that playing against Poison Master Polark was way too difficult for him. Good. He got really scared, and so he backed up. But it'll start you back right from where you were, so you'll jump right back into to puzzle 6 of 9. There's different amounts of puzzles depending upon the lab. So anyway, so we'll jump into mirror. So this is lab. We're gonna do lab number 2 for mirror in particular. Astromancer Arwen. Ooh. We're gonna dive in.
So you already completed lab 1 previously, and this is what it looks like when we move on to lab 2.
Exactly, and so this is seeing it step up and become more challenging. So I'm curious to see. I haven't actually played these before.
We may have to slow down a little bit.
So we're gonna have to. By the way, so did you notice? Did you notice anything on the client, the name in particular?
Oh my gosh, I didn't. Wow. So we're actually playing as Future Regis. I don't know if they can see that. It might be hidden by us, my giant body's in the way. But wow, Future Regis, man.
Future Regis. So for those of you who did not get a chance to check out, so with the card reveals, this is actually Regis's first card reveal. What card was it? Do you want to talk about it?
Augmented Elec. Yeah, I revealed Augmented Elec. Really cool card. 3-mana, 3/4, neutral, epic minion. It's a beast. It shuffles an extra copy of a card anytime. It's literally and figuratively. It
literally and figuratively is a beast
shuffles
of
an
a
extra
card.
copy of a card into a deck anytime you shuffle a copy in. So all kinds of shuffle shenanigans with Augmented Elec. Super cool card. I've played it a ton.
Freaking awesome. It's awesome.
And if you didn't watch my card reveal video, I essentially had a special guest by the name of Future Regis. He had some particularly interesting futuristic headgear in the video. And
was that a salad bowl?
It was.
Or was that technology?
I don't know. It was for the future, so I'm not sure. But it looked a bit like a pasta strainer. So it might have been a pasta strainer with some wires,
pasta salad,
duct tape to it. You just need to go check out the video. It's on RegisKillbin YouTube. Just Google it. You'll find it. But it's pretty fun. And apparently this is his account. I don't know how we're
playing on Future Regis. I don't know how either. I may have put it in. I can't remember. so I don't know.
That's pretty crazy. So
back to the puzzle lab.
Right. I'm already getting intrigued by it. I want to solve it. In my back of my mind, I was going for it.
Absolutely.
So this is a mirror puzzle. kill. And I like this as a handy little kind of secret graphic here to show you just a reminder of what you're doing. And in this case, we're matching the board state. So we need essentially to end up in a spot where we have 4 tentacles here, it would seem.
Correct.
So,
or potentially less.
Or kill some of his tentacles, for instance.
Well, and the thing that's interesting, too, is they're not able to attack. So we need to figure out what to do. So we can't trade.
Right. We also have a card in deck, which is intriguing, which means we might need to life tap.
Let's try.
I'm just going to do it out of curiosity. I don't know if it's the right solution or not.
Well, that's the beauty, too, is as these puzzles ramp up and get more challenging, there's a lot of options that look really enticing and really good that I've noticed, and you're like, obviously, I'm going to take that move. Like, for instance, the card and using life tab. But that may actually be the wrong thing to do, which is interesting.
It's a trap.
So we're going to try it out.
But thankfully, you have the reset button. I mean, just to
show
it off real quick. That's really cool graphic, too, by the way.
Reset Regis. That's going to be your new nickname, Reset Regis.
Probably so, because I'll be resetting these a lot.
That's good.
So what I think we're going to do here is just Forbidden Ritual, if you're not familiar with the card. We summon a tentacle equal to our remaining mana. So we can kill one of these, for instance, with that Drain Life we life tapped into, and then Forbidden Ritual into... that's a cool graphic too. The little purple.
Look at you, Mr. Professional.
Yeah, I know, that was nice. So the life tap did really matter there. Oh, this got a lot harder all of a sudden.
I'm telling you, dude, they ramp up.
What happened here?
I promise you. And again, we're not even showing lab 3 or 4 of the puzzle types. So, and then Dr. Boom, yes. Those are the ones I remember when I was talking to Dave. This was the other day, and I was asking about it. I was like, "Hey, so I haven't gotten to Dr. Boom's, puzzles yet, in particular." And he was like, "Dude, you have no idea what you're in for." Because literally, they had. I think they said they had a crowd of like all the designers around one computer, when they were going through this, and we're just like, "This is insane. This is so rad. This is so insane that it took like they said 20, 30 tries plus."
Even Hearthstone designers, the people literally making the game, are having trouble solving these.
Right, which is great. And that was the beauty of it, was let's make something fun, challenging, strategize, and again, we keep saying it, the collaborative effect. It's super cool.
So what do you think the average time it takes to solve some of the later puzzles is? Is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
No, that's a good question. I actually I don't know. That's a good question. And I think it depends on, you, like you said.
I'm just going to start playing through this, by the way, and see what happens. I don't think this is going to be the actual solution. But I'm just kind of curious here.
Let's go for it. That's what we want to try.
I probably should have played this sooner to get it damaged. It looks like.
Get the Ancient Watcher.
Yeah, so we need to get it down to 3, or.
And we need a second. Yeah.
Well, we could just do this. Never mind. This is fine too.
But again, so remember too with mirror.
There we go. So this was kind of a trap. The voodoo doctor was sort of a trap there.
Right.
We were getting tricked into needing to do things that we didn't have to do. So
that's right. That's right.
Cool.
Well, and remember the other thing too with these, like we talked about. So the thing to keep in mind is sometimes it may be needing to heal, an enemy minion. That could potentially be an option. And so, especially being priest, obviously we have hero power
as well. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how these different things come into play. So
we have this minion can attack now. This has added an entirely different. Man,
I'm gonna throw you to the wolves here. I'm not gonna help. I'm not gonna give you my expertise. I'm gonna let you just
So
figure it out.
If we attack here, this would go down to 3 health, which I don't think we have any way to get this to. No, we can get that to 3 health with Flash Heal and Hero Power and Embrace the Shadow.
I don't know. Can we?
But there's still a Sleepy Dragon problem.
This is true.
How do we? Oh, we can Interfire the Sleepy Dragon to Shadow Word Death it, but that's 4 mana. That only leaves us 4 mana, which is not enough for Embrace the Shadow. Oh, but wait, I think we can just do this.
So, and the thing too is Behemoth, obviously, on the enemy side is on the outside.
I think we can just
figure
do
out
this.
Okay.
There we go. See, again, there's a little tricky.
What a professional.
They're not giving you exactly what you need to solve the puzzle. They're giving you extra.
You may be Dr. Boom's next scientist in the making.
Well, I have the lab coat. I have some goggles still. So this microphone, though, I don't know if I trust it. So I'm a little
with the electrical tape and the Gorilla Glue after.
Yeah.
That was an experience last night. I was like, oh my goodness, this is
Okay, so again, we have a card. So Wrath for a card draw. I'm just going to see what's in there.
Card draw, or do you want to deal with 3 damage? Yep.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but we're going to see what's in there to help us figure out how to solve this thing. And since we have a couple Mark of the Lotus, I think we're going to do it here, but I have a feeling we're going to need to resolve this later.
Okay. Ooh, another Mark of the Lotus.
Okay, so I already think we can see what needs to happen here, which is we trade here to put these at... Oh, no, that ain't going to work. That ain't gonna work. So what I was thinking is we'll put these at 3/3s, but they don't become 3/2s, and then we play this.
Hero
but
power.
we gotta get down to 3/2.
So you also have your hero power too.
We do have a hero power as well. So let's reset here.
Okay.
And I'm still not sure I see the solution just yet. How do we get these to 3/2s? Only one of them can trade. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just get this one to 3/2. So that would mean we have to Wrath here to clear this.
Right.
And
take out the minion, the wisp on the outside.
And then we can. Oh no, this is still not gonna work. I'm not sure how to get to 3/2.
So you could trade. You still have the other wisp, and then you have your hero power.
But how do I get my minion down to 3/2? Oh, Mark of the Lotus and then trade, but then I have 2/2s.
Right.
Man, this one seems hard. I don't know. I mean, we can just do this. I'm overthinking it. I'm trying to match up the minions up, but we don't have to. We just have to kill the minion. See, I'm too smart. That's
a spicy meatball, eh?
I'm just too smart for my own good. That's the problem.
There we go.
Man, these are cool though. Like I'm kind of getting scared because we're only on lab 2, and there are multiple. So how many labs are there in each wing?
Right. So there's 4 labs in each specific puzzle type. Right. There's over 100 puzzles. So and it depends. So like each lab, like you noticed, for lethal lab 1 had 9, and then for this one it's got 7. So it depends on what's going on. So we'll try this one. We'll go through it once. If you can get it, cool. If not, we'll jump to the next thing. 'Cause again, we want to.
So there are roughly 30 puzzles in each lab, or 30, and then 4 Dr. Booms. At the end,
somewhere around there. And then again, like we got to save room for Dr. Boom.
I'm getting scared of what the end looks like. So,
absolutely.
This one looks pretty easy to me. We just need to match. Oh, but
so you said that last time though.
So.
It'll take you a couple tries.
You're right, but I don't actually know the answer to this, which we're going to find out really quickly. Is I don't think this counts as a mirror because these minions are not in the right alignment, right? So we're going to learn something here. Right. They're not lined up with each other,
Correct.
so that is not actually a mirror. Okay, so
has to be the exact
that seems like the easiest
alignment.
solution. I'm a little sad. I was like, oh, I got it.
So you keep hearing you use the word easy, but you're hitting the reset button. Regis, can you tell me more about?
It's not easy. It's challenging. It's
exactly.
It's fun though. It's cool. And again, I think this is gonna be so good for people to learn the game. Like anybody that's new to the game is gonna learn.
It's something I was thinking about right before the stream. Like just talking with you guys is like this is actually a really cool way for folks who are newer or maybe haven't played in a long time, right? Like they're new to the Boomsday Project in particular. Maybe they play with Kobolds and Catacombs or Knights of the Frozen Throne, and they're back. And this is a cool intro to get back into it.
Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do is try to match these up on each side.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay.
And I noticed that Volcanic Potion is here, which I thought was intriguing.
Right.
Because it's really good at killing our own minions. I thought that was an important distinction to make. So I figured, oh, it must be that we're supposed to play the Elven Archers first.
Correct.
Because we're going to kill them off with Volcanic Potion.
Correct.
So if we make everything line up and then play Volcanic Potion, since this affects all minions simultaneously, then we should be in a spot where these guys suddenly line up.
Let's find out.
I think it's going to work. We did it! Yes, that's
there
perfect.
We go.
Cool.
Sweet.
So it's kind of cool. The cards in hand often just give you the clues you need if you really sit and think about it. It's like there's an order here being defined. Oh, what is this?
Well, here, we're not going to do this one. We're not going to do this one again.
All right. We're not going to do it, but I just want to say.
I know you're getting excited here.
It's a new card. Like, you can't leave me hanging.
Look, we only have a limited time for the stream.
Buy their help. That is so cool. And new artwork, too. Looks really, really good.
Ooh, pretty.
That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Shiny. Yeah.
So that
we can't be here all day.
That one's for you guys. Yeah.
That one's for you guys.
You guys get to play with the cool new card.
Yep.
I don't get to, but I'll do it later. As soon as the stream's over, I'll be
right. So let's jump down. So let's jump into board clear.
Okay.
So again, seems like some of these puzzles were already done, so we're jumping in the middle. So let's see what's going on.
Yeah, and it's interesting with mirror. It might be people might say, well, that's not something you ever do in the game. You don't care about arranging minions to match your opponents. Right. So they might say, well, what's the point of learning that skill? But it's not that simple because you're learning how to think about the game and how to process turns and how to move through things in a logical fashion. That's what's quite really important about it. It's not that you're trying to capture something that's going to happen in game. You're just learning how to think about the game and how to utilize your resources in a fashion and in an order that suits you best.
Yeah, and I believe the big thing too is order of operations. I think that this is something that it can be very easily overlooked. It's like, I know the play, and you've already got it mapped out in your mind. You know, you are theory crafting on what the opponent's going to do, and maybe they do something that shifts it up or changes it last second, and then you're like, okay. So having to take that step back and go, okay, I'm going to think, I'm going to breathe real fast, I'm going to remember my order of operations, and then I'm going to go in and make the play.
Right. I will say, though, it's kind of nice not having a rope in the puzzle labs. The rope is what always gets me.
Absolutely,
I start talking to Twitch chat. I'm having too much fun. So the idea here is board clear, and I think what we're learning in this lesson in particular, or this lab, is that you can use your own spells against your own minions if you need to. Things like Frothing Berserker, just adding up that. Oh, that's a cool animation.
Is that sweet?
Yeah, that's awesome. I know Dave mentioned that. That's super cool.
Good old Dendrologist. Yeah, and so again, we're back to the first puzzle. So again, these are the more intuitive ones that you start off with. So these aren't meant to be over the top, super challenging. But want to give a good variety of what's going on. And again, we want to save, the most challenging for you all at home. The super exciting stuff.
Yeah. And again, I hope people don't just go look up solutions. I hope you guys take the time to sit down and solve it. It's going to make all of us better Hearthstone players. So I would encourage everybody to go through this. I can already tell it's going to be fun. Kind of the thing I'm doing. I may not do this on stream a lot because everybody will already have seen the puzzles. But when I'm just sitting at home, playing Hearthstone on my phone or whatever it is, this is going to be a great learning tool. So I'm excited. Now, positively. Here we've got a cool interaction with Steady Shot, stealing 2 damage to anything, not just the enemy hero, because we have Steam Weedle Sniper, another cool. Yep. He's taunting us.
That's it. Regis, you're taking too long. He's like,
Dexter the
you can't knock me out. This is my lab.
So yeah, it looks like there's a couple potential solutions here. We just need to line it up where explosive shots remaining 2 damage on adjacent minions doesn't hit these 3 health guys.
All right.
So the important thing there is not killing our Steam Weedle Sniper before we ping, and then we get to do. Oh, I gotta kill this guy.
I know. I was just about to say.
I forgot that you didn't let me do the intro. So I forgot that it's symmetrical. You have to clear your own minions as well. So actually, I did it backwards. I did it the way you would often do it in Hearthstone, trying to take a value trade. But because of the extra interaction here,
exactly,
we
order of
actually
operations.
need to do it. We need to do it this way to kill this guy instead. We do want him to die. So you got to think about this in a new kind of way. That's cool. There we go. Perfect.
There he goes. He's got it. He's got it.
Nice. Great job. I like how it tells me that every time. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, see, hashtag positivity, right? We try to keep it encouraging and fun.
No joke. That's great. Oh, so we got wild pyromancer shenanigans.
Yeah. The Deathwing.
How are we going to kill Deathwing?
We got the big guy on the board, so this is awesome.
How are we going to kill Deathwing,
I don't know. How are we?
Wait a minute.
Got a bunch of spells. We got wild pyromancer.
How are we going to get that much damage? So 6 plus. They're going to do 2. Okay, so we got to start like this. I guess it doesn't really matter how we start, but we got to make sure our wild pyromancers survive as they do these pings. Oh,
you already lost one. There you go.
How am I going to avoid that? Hold up. Do I have to? I got a holy. It's always going to kill itself right off the bat. 6. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. This is not enough damage, though, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, I just killed it again accidentally.
Yep.
Whoops. Whoops. That's a handy button there. That's a handy button there. So the first spell I cast is always going to kill one of the wild pyromancers, right? No matter what, because there's 2 wild pyros. Right. I cannot keep the second wild pyro alive. Is that right? Well, I guess I can cast a Holy Smite first. Nope, that still is the same thing. Right. It's always going to kill a wild pyro. Am I wrong in thinking that? I feel like I'm missing a...
No.
I feel like I'm missing a thing here. But we'll see.
I don't know. We'll find out. Let's try it.
So, I mean, clearly this damage needs to go into Deathwing. We need to make sure we heal this in between. I went a little fast last time. And it has enough to survive this one. It's at 2, right? Yeah, it's at 2.
Yep.
I feel like we're still going to be... No, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Are we going to get there?
We're going to get there.
We're going to get there.
It seemed like 12.
But wait.
Oh, but
as I say, the wild pyromancer's still on the board, so you did not.
I did it again. I played it like Hearthstone
sneaky.
of like a puzzle lab. Chris.
This is tough.
You tricked me, man.
This is so. I'm glad I'm not in the hot seat. That I'm just the one watching and enjoying.
No.
I get to laugh.
No.
But remember,
Hey.
I'm laughing with you.
No,
not at
listen. Everybody at home,
laughing
they're
at
gonna
him.
laugh. They're gonna say, "Oh, Regis, you messed it up." But you know what? Everybody's having the exact same experience. I know you guys are having the same problems. You're like, "Oh," but they don't do it in front of thousands of people. Is the difference? They don't have to worry about it.
The thing
So,
I keep hearing you say, like, even though you failed a puzzle, you're just like, Regis is the name and Hearthstone is the game.
Hello,
And it's just like that's just always
That's
your tagline,
right.
like,
Hey,
hey, phone,
no, I'm happy
Regis is the name of
to.
Hearthstone's the game.
I'm happy to be a fool if I can save other people the trouble of being a fool. You guys can make fun of me. That's okay.
Absolutely.
So-
you gotta have fun in life for sure.
So we
Most
pretty
definitely.
much know what we need to do here, but we need to make sure that we flash
Heal the Pyromancer earlier.
earlier so it doesn't gain as much health. That's
Correct.
exactly right.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can do it now, probably. I don't know for sure that it's going to line up. I may have gone too soon again, but we'll see.
We're gonna find out. Remember,
But
you also do
essentially,
have your hero power.
We healed it for too much last time. So, shoot, though. Now it's going to go to 4. Did we mess it up again, right? It's not going to go far enough. So we might have to flash heal first. and
I actually
then-
think you would have had it without the hero power.
Oh.
You would have had it without the
I
hero
just
power.
didn't need
Yeah,
the hero
because
power.
that was my 2 damage, 2. And then while Pyromancer doing it, twice casting 2 spells, 2 damage. So, that would have been 6. So
now-
you actually had it.
So now we know.
I was
but-
gonna stop you, and then I was like, let's
No,
see if
you
he
should have
notices.
stopped me. Now we know, but I'm still gonna mess it up again. like I'm still gonna give it.
But see, I want to be
So
Dr. Boom's
you're saying
prize
just
pupil.
Don't, you're saying
not
just
you.
don't. You're saying don't hero power at all. We should
Right.
be fine. I'm trusting you. I believe.
Let's see. Am I right? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but you're cheating. You already know.
I
You've already
know,
seen it.
excuse me.
No, you're an insider.
That's an assumption.
I don't trust it. Hey, that worked. You're good.
Oh,
Pretty good
man,
Hearthstone
thanks.
player. Have you
Yeah,
hit
look at
Legend
this.
before? Putting you on the hot seat.
Next topic. Well, so Mike, who's running production over on the side, he just laughed at me because he's like, dude, I've been Legend like for years.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're the odd man out a little bit.
Yep. Well, I'm working on it.
Okay, so coins coming from hoarding dragons seem like they're going to be relevant here. We also have
Absolutely.
a blade flurry. So, I mean, I think we want to use a backstab. Probably, I'm guessing, on Deathwing because it has the most health. But we also need to make sure our toxicology... Okay, so just because I'm going to start playing through this again. We could probably sit down and think through it, but I think it's going to be more beneficial to just...
Yeah. Just play through it and see what's going on.
And see what happens.
Try a strategy. If it doesn't work, try again.
Yeah.
Change it up.
I mean, clearly we're going to need to do... But I'm already out of mana for Eviscerates. That makes me nervous. We have a prep Blade Flurry, but I only have one.
Well, but see, remember, you're going to be out of mana, but if you take out a Hoarding Dragon, get the 2 coins back.
Oh, you're right, of course. Yes.
So-
Yeah. And we need to take damage here to make our Spiteful Smith better, but...
Yeah, and this is something I thought was cool, too. Like a Hoarding Dragon, like, I personally haven't ever used it in any of my decks before, but it's cool to utilize something like this that gives you the advantage that allows you to solve the puzzle. I think is really cool.
I need to damage this, but it's going to get damaged. Well, it won't matter now, though. How do I damage? Oh, I got to backstab this guy.
Right.
To get the extra. I see. Okay. We can end this just to see what it looked like, right? But we're not going to be able to get there. We're not going to have enough mana, right? So what we need to do is backstab this guy, of course. Like, that's a big clue I just overlooked.
Yeah, remember, we get 2 Hoarding Dragons, so we get 4 coins total, which is cool.
Yeah. So we got to backstab our Spiteful Smith. Another card you don't see a lot unless you play Arena, perhaps.
Right.
I almost never played in Constructed. But yeah, it's cool that you do get to see new cards and play with new interactions that you typically wouldn't otherwise get to enjoy. So now we know that... oh, Deadly Poison, I forgot. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Ooh.
So we can prep a Blade Flurry because that's our most expensive spell. And then
Sweet.
we should have enough coins
Got
to
the coins.
double Eviscerate. Oh.
Yeah, but see, now you got your 2 minions, too.
Oh. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, how do we get rid of our guys? I gotta... because we don't have enough to get Deathwing now. Now I'm stumped. I was thinking these were gonna die for some reason on the Blade Flurry, but that's not how it works.
We're only on lab number 1 of this.
Yeah, what the heck? No, seriously, what am I missing here? There's no way to trade. What am I missing here? How do I kill my own guy? How do I kill my own guy, Chris? Do you see it? Am I crazy? Goes to 4. We can eviscerate it. How do I have enough damage left for death? Maybe I have to attack into the Deathwing. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I think that's what I'm doing wrong. I think we have to attack into Deathwing, right?
Let's attack into Deathwing.
But then can I not play the Toxicologist?
See, that's the big thing, is because...
How do I kill it? Oh, but if I attack into Deathwing and then Blade Flurry, that's 12. Never mind. I got it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. So then we can double eviscerate our guys. Again, not a play you typically make in Hearthstone because you don't typically want to take, 12 damage to the face. But if you got it clear, you got it clear. So now we're there. Now I see it. And this is just such a crazy interaction. It's something you'd never do in the game. Like, it's such a weird play. But it makes you think about the game in such an interesting new way. You still learn how to use your resources. That's really cool.
Well, that was gonna be
that was a good puzzle. Like, that was well designed.
It's cool. Fun. Super fun. Thank you, Dave.
Nice. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you,
Dave.
Missions team.
Wherever you are, Dave, somewhere.
Paul, Giovanni, all those guys that are doing some awesome things.
Yeah. Also, this lab coat Dave gave me smells really good. I don't know what he's doing. Like,
Febreze, whatever he's watching this in.
You're gonna need to Febreze it after I wear it for sure.
Oh, stop it!
So we actually completed that lab. Is that right?
We did.
Oh, nice. So we started halfway through.
Absolutely. So what we'll do? So we'll run through the last one. Let's go through survival. So we're on lab 2.
I like this. Okay.
So again, ups the ante. And so we'll run through a couple of these, and then let's get Twitch chat involved. We want to get you guys involved at home and see if you can help us out. We had a little bit of trouble on that last run, but
Excuse me. No, that was fun. That was good. I don't think Twitch chat's gonna be able to help too much, though. We'll see.
Oh no, they totally will.
They probably know all the answers.
I believe
immediately.
I believe. Optimism.
My Twitch chat's very
positivity.
Smart. My Twitch chat really is good at Hearthstone.
That's cool.
They're better than me, I think. So I do learn a lot from Twitch chat.
That's cool.
Particularly because I get distracted. But
yep.
Okay, so survival is the game here.
Yes, so this is the one that Dave was talking about in the beginning that has the rockets and lasers pointed at your face, and you've got to survive. So you've got to get to 30 health because every single time that hero power is going to do 29 damage to you.
So we don't have to worry about minion attacks? Like, these are not going to attack my face?
Correct.
Okay, so it's only a hero power.
But you may need to take them out again, Hoarding Dragon, to get the coins.
Right.
Working to get the health back. So.
Got it.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take 29 damage from the hero power always?
Yes.
That's the first time I've seen
every
this,
single time.
So I have to heal to 30
Correct.
Always.
Yep.
Okay. So we got to get to 30 health using these resources?
Yep. And the thing, too, that I want to preface, and again, I don't want to give too much away, but once you get to Dr. Boom's labs, there are some things that may change with that. Like, maybe you need to get over 30 health. I don't know.
Oh,
we'll see. So again, I don't want to reveal too much,
cool.
But so these are the things. So like you expect one thing and you go into it and then you're like, oh, that upped the ante. That changed a little bit.
Nice.
Okay, got it.
Man, that's exciting.
Right.
So real quickly, like we identified this minion had 2 health.
So you use Topsy-Turvy,
that seemed
Shadow Word.
That seemed like a point of contention or an interesting point. Like, why would it have 2 health for no reason? So thought, okay, let's Topsy-Turvy that. And then I guess we can probably
and now remember, your hero power keeps getting refreshed.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Auction
So
Master
I already missed it. So let's reset.
I gotta remember some of the names of these cards. I'm still getting adjusted to the names of the cards as well.
Of course. After I cast a spell, my hero power is getting refreshed. I got coins. So we have a lot of mana. So we need to play Maiden of the Lake presumably first, and probably need to heal in between every time. We'll see. That might have cost us a mana that we may not have later.
Right. And so I ran through this one actually before, and I was doing similar, but I kept getting to the end and was like, I literally need 2 health. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what you come up with. Because Auction Master Beer, the hero power is great, and now that it's 1 is awesome. But again, mana always comes back to it as mana.
Run out of mana. So I really should be prioritizing Flash Heals and Light of the Naru instead, because these are worth more mana than my hero power.
Yep. The trade is easy. We know that because you get the 8 health back from Morgan.
Yeah. But we're gonna end up a little short here.
Right. I'm pretty sure I kept getting to 28 when I first tried this.
27, yeah, okay. So we're close.
Right. That's where Light of the Naru came in, but we don't have no mana.
Right, exactly. So we need
But then if you sacrifice the hero power, then you would have been 2 down. You would have been at 28.
So, okay, so this is interesting because you really do have to kind of, this has got a lot of pieces.
Right.
So there's a lot of...
Well, that's what I was playing around was, again, the order of operations was like, okay, when do I utilize the hero power versus using the spell? Topsy-turvy, get the coins back. Like...
Right.
That was a big ticket for me.
And I don't feel like I'm going to memorize this very well either. Like, it's going to be
especially being put on the spot.
It's good. Yeah, exactly.
Is this the one that we may need to call up on Twitch chat for
help?
help?
I don't know. We'll see.
We're going to find out. We'll give it a couple more tries. We'll give it a couple more tries.
And then So there's my coins. So I have a total right now of 4 mana, and I need to use both of these.
Right.
So that gives me 2 more hero powers that I can take this trade anytime, I guess, just to get that out of the way. So,
okay.
Let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and do it like this. You're saying that like I messed something up already. I can hear it in your voice. He's like, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's try it. I think it's fine. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's all right. Yeah.
So we're gonna be.
See, but we're gonna be. Yep. So this is actually what.
28.
And we're gonna be at 28. Yep. This is so.
So you haven't beat this yet?
No. I actually genuinely have not beaten this yet. This is where I got multiple times on multiple different scenarios, either 27 or 28 every single time.
Huh. What are we missing here? I'm trying to think of a way to optimize.
Well, so again, this is the thing that I keep trying to get through my mind is the option that looks really enticing, right? Like, do we actually need Hoarding Dragon to get those 2 coins? Like, says yes, right?
But, well, certainly, I'd have to imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that's crazy with this sometimes is though you think almost certainly I absolutely need this thing. And then you're like, oh my goodness, the solution was right in front of me. And I was just missing it the entire time.
Do you know the solution for real?
I genuinely don't.
You don't?
I genuinely don't. I wanted to be surprised by this as well, so that way we could come on and play.
Maybe the question is, do we need Maiden of the Lake?
So the thing that I noticed before, so Auction Master Beardo and one of the other ones that I tried was almost like the bait where you're like, oh, it refreshes my hero power. I'm priest. I can keep using that. But again, the hero power burns through mana. So that was the thing I was trying to take into this one was like, is Maiden of the Lake and utilizing the hero power actually going to burn the mana that I need to utilize for the other stuff?
Because we had a spare Voodoo Doctor, right?
Right.
And Maiden of the Lake costs 2
And I never
powers.
I never utilized
Let's
Voodoo
see what
Doctor.
happens if we don't use Maiden of the Lake, right?
Let's try it.
Let's see what happens.
Let's try it.
But we still don't want to hero power too much. We got to be careful because we don't want to run out of mana again. Like we can squeeze in a few. I'm just gonna start going here. I'm not doing.
So we maybe should have used the hero power earlier.
I think we got enough with the coins, hopefully, but I'm not sure. You're probably thinking.
Well, because again, just because it refreshes instead of having to burn through spells.
So this is gonna put me at.
I don't have enough mana.
I think this is gonna put us there, right? Nope, we're gonna be at 28 again.
Yep.
What? What? I felt like I optimized that. There was no other. There's gotta be.
No!
No! Oh, we're there!
Let's go!
Yes! I was gonna say, there's no other way to do it. Like, I optimized it perfectly. But it was just a delay on the animation. Yes. Perfect.
Exactly. Yep.
Right, okay. Oh, wow.
Your actions per. Your APM is quite high,
Oh,
Regis.
yeah.
Future Regis, I think Future Regis needs to take some pointers from you.
No,
And this is his account that we're playing on right now.
He's incredibly advanced.
I'm sure he's gonna have some words for you later, so we'll find out. We'll see if he shows up in a future video and has some
Oh my goodness, this is crazy. So we got to use Floops here to get some mana.
The Mulch Muncher.
And we're gonna have to play some Wisps to make sure that our Poison Seeds, when it kills stuff, it makes our Floops really good.
Yep.
But how am I gonna? I'm not gonna have enough mana to get there, right? Oh, never mind. I can kill one spider there.
There you go.
That gets me enough for the Poison Seeds. So we're just going to see what happens here. The Poison Seeds is going to give me even more. But do I need to... I don't really have a choice. I kind of have to do this, right?
Let's find out.
So now I can... Oh, okay. We have to Witchwood Apple into a Woods and then Poison Seeds... Oh, we won't be able to do that. We have to just... Oh, Poison Seeds should give us 9 mana for Tree of Life, right? Yeah. Cool. Well, that one felt way easier than the last one.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That one felt awesome. That felt more like a traditional Hearthstone board. Like I'm trying to clear stuff, I'm trying to set up mana. So it was more of a logical progression, I think, than
what I wonder.
Previously.
And this is something I didn't talk to Dave about in particular. But did they purposefully line some up to be, like you said, something that you would expect versus others not? That sounds like an intuitive thing. It's like, oh, Chris, that seems like a dumb question. Like obviously they did, but it's cool. Like when thinking about design and coming into the complexities of like, hey, we want to tailor this for all different types of players.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that play just solo adventures, right? You know, and they're a PvE player and they love that, and they may not have the mindset, you know, of somebody who's climbing ladder, you know, or vice versa. So
right, and certainly too, I think some puzzles are just going to line up with you personally. Like that one just made sense to me right away. The one previously, like it took some thought and some processing, and that's okay. Like that's fine. Right. You're not going to have an instant solution to every puzzle. That doesn't make you a bad Hearthstone player or doesn't make you silly. Like you just have to learn sometimes. You have to sit down and think about it. So I think it's really fun. So that said, this puzzle, we've got an interesting minion here, the Turret Sentinel. I had seen the artwork for this previously, and it looks so cool. It's like an alarm
so
bot.
many weapons.
It's got like rockets and
lasers. Is that a chainsaw?
Yeah, there's definitely a chainsaw in the upper right-hand corner. That's
and then even at it's.
But its effect here, after your opponent plays a minion, attack it, and then Death Rattles refresh all mana crystals, which implies our own as well as our opponents. Right. So we need to use Lifesteal, presumably from Ziliax.
Such a good card.
We need to kill this thing somehow.
Yep.
And then eventually we're going to get refreshed for Forbidden Healing to heal for a bunch. Forbidden Healing at 10 mana will heal for 20 health, for instance. So it seems like this one's going to line up, but we got to make sure we actually do kill this thing.
Right.
And
well, the thing that's cool for me in particular with this one that I really enjoy is like the magnetic effect comes in. This is a new mechanic, you know, to the Boomsday Project in particular. For those of you who are not aware, you know, magnetic, if you put it to the left, it will magnetize to that mech. And if you put it to the right, it plays as its own, it's its own minion.
Right, exactly.
And so that adds another complexity to it of like, Ziliax looks like the enticing factor of, do I magnetize this or do I play it on its own?
Yeah, well, it worked out magnetizing, thankfully. I didn't really
I was trying to talk, and you're just...
Yeah, I know, I'm just going,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so for this last one...
Steel was the name of the puzzle, that's so good.
Is that good? A little pun.
Like
so my boom pun that I did at the beginning of the stream, you know, it was cheesy, but so we like to do a little pun. You know.
Yeah, and there were some tricks there, too. Like, we didn't even look at, like, Blessed Champion. There were a lot of ways to increase the lifesteal.
Well, let's for this one again. We don't want to get too much into it. You know, we want everybody to have their chance to figure it out. So I think this is the one we should try to get Twitch chat involved.
Yeah.
So Twitch
looks like a tough one anyways.
What do you guys say? We've got chat open. What should we do?
Yeah, and no,
and Regis will go through and highlight some of the cards.
Yeah.
That way you know what's going on. For those of you who aren't familiar with some of them, you have a chance to read some of the descriptions. So let's go through them real fast.
You guys tell us. Is a non-collectible card called Battery Pack. 0 mana. Refresh all of your mana crystals. Then we have Forbidden Healing, which we just saw. Spend your mana, heal twice. Glowtron is Magnetic Mech. We got the Steel Rager.
Right.
It's another Rager card, which is awesome.
Right.
Blessed Champion, Double Attack, and Ziliax, finally. A big pile of stuff, including Lifesteal.
Right.
So we got to get to 30. Now, I mean, clearly the sort of obvious thing is perhaps the Forbidden Healing heals you for 20, but what does Twitch chat have to say? I can't quite hardly...
Yeah, I know. We've got a little bit of a delay, so we're waiting for it to catch up. Let's see.
Oh... Yeah,
we just keep we can keep conversating. We can keep chatting and talking and.
Well, that said, what's your favorite Boomsday Project card so far?
Oh man, Ziliax keeps popping up. It's been super fun. Giggling Inventor is really good too, and it's been interesting to see cards like Blood Knight pop up to utilize removing that Divine Shield and to empower. I had a guy who was utilizing that and played 2 Argent. Why am I forgetting the name?
Argent Squire.
Argent Squire. There you go. I almost said Soldier and I knew that wasn't right. Played 2 Argent Squires and then played Blood Knight and was 9/9 on turn 3, and I was like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, I actually got an 18/18 Blood Knight the other day. It was off stream, which made me really sad because I wanted it to happen on stream. But
that's absolutely disgusting.
18/18, like it won me the game too. Crazy swing, and it's crazy. The card like Blood Knight, barely ever seen any sort of play, but just because Giggling Inventor is so pervasive and everywhere, Blood Knight is suddenly a fantastic tech card. Which it's cool to have these old cards in Hearthstone come back to life when new cards are brought into the scene, and it just refreshes the game and changes it. Like a month ago, if you told me you played a 9/9 Blood Knight on turn 3, I'd have been like, that's not possible.
No,
that
for sure.
Never would have happened, but nowadays it makes sense.
Again, and when the play happened, like sometimes, like for me, I actually learn a lot from watching, competitive play like HCT or HGG, which HGG actually is going on right now too. So, after we get done with the stream, we're going to actually host them, and you guys have a chance to tune into that if you haven't had a chance to check it out. That'd be awesome. By the way, it looks like people are starting to type. Somebody said, Sanity Pack said Ziliax first, magnetize everything in battery and heal. Okay.
Well,
so
that's
we got Ziliax.
One route. Okay.
So definitely magnetize everything is what we're seeing.
So Ziliax magnetized on the 1/1 even too, presumably, because otherwise. Well,
see, and this isn't fair because there's that little bit of delay. So they've already had their clients open, and figuring it out for themselves. So they're like, guys, you're slow.
Yeah. Yeah. We're always gonna look worse than Twitch chat here.
Hey, but that's
so
we're here to make you guys look good. That is the point.
Exactly.
That is the point. Isn't that like the mantra of your stream?
Exactly. Yeah. I want to teach everybody everything that I can.
Okay.
So, is there any other dissenting opinions so far?
Okay. So I keep seeing magnetize everything. Magnetize every battery and heal.
Should we magnetize this though, or
well,
magnetize
so Ziliax was the first
Rager?
person, the first one.
I don't think.
So Rager isn't magnetic.
I don't. Yeah. If we want this attack to count, it has to be played first.
We'd have to play Steel Rager, then magnetize into it.
Then magnetize the Ziliax onto the Steel Rager. If you magnetize the Microbot, you're not going to get there because you don't get the lifesteal on the Steel Rager.
By the way, Xanalon says, hi, Regis.
Oh, I know Xanalon. Hey, Xanalon. How's it going?
Xanalon.
Major shout out.
Xanalon, I'm doing great too. Thanks for asking. You know,
I probably have some
of
my regulars in chat right now.
Yeah. So, okay. So
Snazzy
Snail is saying Rager, Ziliax, Glowtron, Pack, Heal.
I think that sounds like the right path to me as well, because we want to make sure we maximize the.
Let's try that.
So we got to get 8 damage here because we need to get to 10 before we play Forbidden Healing.
Yep.
So we got to get this to 9.
Yep.
Puts us at 10. We attack here. We heal for 10.
Yep.
And then we battery pack. Super cool card though. Imagine this in construction.
Super cool card. Love the album,
Wow.
the artwork. I almost said album artwork.
No, it's really cool.
Oh, the musician in me keeps always going back to album art. Yeah. And there we go.
Yeah, thank you, Twitch chat. Yeah.
Twitch chat.
Hey, Twitch chat. So yeah, a lot of the artwork people don't get to see because it only exists in adventure modes. But if you look up the full high resolution artwork, you can really start to appreciate how much time and energy and just like for instance this hero power right here. It's a tiny little image on screen, but if you look up that artwork, it's insane. Somebody made some incredible artwork. So I always try to highlight that in like YouTube thumbnails and show that appreciation. So
So we're not going to do this one.
Okay, it looks
but this
hard.
one just got interesting because Shutterwalk comes into play.
I don't even play Shutterwalk normally.
The big bad Shutterwalk.
I'm not a Shutterwalk player, so I don't even know what this
I'm
looks
not
like.
either, and that makes me super nervous. And it was intense. Like I remember watching HCT, the one that was here in Burbank, and it was Shutterwalk v Shutterwalk, and that was just an intense match to watch. Just like them going back and forth, and like, okay, I'm gonna play this card, and he might do this, and just like trying to guess the opponent's opinion.
Absolutely.
Or play. Hello, not opinion.
You can learn a lot, but it's intimidating for
sure. So really cool to see a lot of these cards, again, like Deathwing and Shutterwalk, and some of these really, really big minions and these really big, legendary cards come into play, and yeah, stump us.
Yeah,
like
this one's a complex puzzle. Again, we have to use the turret sentinel here, but we're not going to talk through it. Like you said, we're going to let you guys Twitch chat. You can solve this one later. We'll leave this one to you guys, but this is going to be a crazy one. I can tell.
Well, let's go ahead and back out. And so again, so I think we're done with gameplay here.
Yeah, we've left you guys like 115 puzzles.
Right. So many puzzles. so many puzzles.
Some ridiculous amount of puzzles.
And again, like we talked about, not to be redundant, but again, these start off simplistic, intuitive, and they get more challenging as time goes on. Essentially, when even when you get to Dr. Boom, I'm really excited to see when people get to Dr. Boom to see how this is going to fare and how people are like, oh, I had it figured out first try. And it's like, oh my goodness.
I wonder how far people have gotten already. Like it's been live for an hour or so, right? So
man, so the thing
knows?
I would be really curious is if somebody were, without looking at solutions, without actually going through it, if there's somebody out there who can actually do every puzzle and every lab, every type. First try.
Wow,
no fails.
No
fail without knowing anything.
I don't believe it's possible. There's no way.
Not doing it's like playing, I don't know, like Bloodborne is just a game that comes to mind it's super tough, and like trying to play that without dying is it's like impossible. I know people have done it though. That's what's crazy.
I would need to see it live streamed from like starting an hour ago straight through, because otherwise like they could just learn it ahead of time. Right. I can't believe they're too hard. And that's okay. Like I know a lot of Twitch chat might get discouraged, community members, Hearthstone players might get discouraged like not being able to solve some of these, but that's okay. Like it's still, you'll get there eventually. Just think about it, take some time, process it, and it'll make you a better Hearthstone player, which is, I think, a lot of us, that's a goal.
For sure.
I already feel like I'm better today. Just
look
from
at
this
you.
one little hour, just a few puzzles. So
I'm sure future Regis will be super proud of you.
He's really good at Hearthstone. So
he's really good. You guys should actually be subscribing to future Regis's Twitch channel, not this Regis.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should have a second, or excuse me, he should have a second channel.
Oh,
but I'm really excited to see the final puzzles, like the Dr. Boom puzzles first off here at the bottom, but also just the late tier puzzles. We were getting some pretty complex stuff already, like 10 cards played, lots of crazy orders. So
absolutely,
it's gonna be fun.
And the whole point is fun. We keep saying it. Video games are fun, so like jump in and do that. So, but before we jet, I'd love to talk a little bit more, about you, Regis, and have the viewers at home get a chance to know who you are as a person, and see what's going on. So you told us about yourself a little bit, but like, is there anything in particular that you have coming up? Like any awesome things that you'd love to tell the community that you're going to be doing?
Sure. I mean, so I post videos on YouTube pretty much every day, first off. So there's always just a
super
nice
fast, too. They're like, something new comes out, it's like, RegisKillbin's got a video up on YouTube.
I'm known for card reviews coming out really fast and sometimes news as well when it comes out. So that's something just always to keep an eye on. Every day you'll find something on YouTube. Not necessarily every day, but most days and sometimes twice a day. So just always, if you want to subscribe on YouTube, you'll find something awesome. And again, I focus on educational stuff, budget stuff, just trying out lots of new decks, both our own series, which we call Dexperiments, which is a funny kind of almost Boomsday Project theme, where I just take like a card idea or an inspiration for a wild deck, and we try it out and see how it goes.
Of course, you do some stuff at wild as well, not just standard.
I was an unfortunate word usage. I meant wild as in the sense of crazy or unusual.
That's why I wanted to clarify and make sure.
Good stuff. But also sometimes wild as well. Very occasionally, not as often do I do wild format. Mostly standard format, but occasionally wild
standard,
format
100%.
too. And then, in those experiments, we just take like a legendary card that's not seeing played and try to turn it into a deck or build some inspiration around it. Other times I'll play other decks from professional players, like if there's some new deck in the scene that's taking over the meta or really prominent or popular or has a cool spin on it, we'll do a spotlight on those decks as well. So
that's cool.
A lot of deck coverage. Beyond that, I do things like just kind of theory crafting, where I make custom cards or explore fun new ideas or things I'd like to see in the game, or talk about like alternate versions of cards that might be more fun or more interesting. We also have a custom card competition I've been running lately, where you can submit your own custom Hearthstone cards. If you got some crazy cool idea, you can go check out the videos to find details on how to submit your own custom cards. But eventually I'm going to pick winners. You guys get a little prize and stuff, and we get to see all these crazy ideas from the community. So
that's cool.
That's really fun too. And beyond that, just lots of Twitch streams and everything else. I don't want to run too long on talking about myself. But
no.
We have fun and we do cool stuff. That's all I'll say.
This is really cool, getting a chance to showcase awesome people in the community doing great things, and them like getting a showcase to you all at home and some people that you can maybe learn from and build a relationship with. And I know like we went to the Fireside gathering for pre-release here in Santa Ana, and it was really cool to get to see a lot of people rally around you and talk about your stream and what's been going on. I know Ali Straza was there. Ant was there. We were hanging out. It was a really cool, fun group. I know a bunch of the Hearthstone dev team, and publishing team were there. It was super, super cool.
Yeah, it was fun. First off, like Ali and Ant and Killing All Day, we all hung out. They were all amazing and wonderful, and you should check out their stuff too. They all got great streams.
Really good people.
Really good at Hearthstone and like the best people ever. So nice. Ali and I traded tier 3 Twitch subs recently just because she's so awesome. I know.
This is making me cry.
But the esports arena event was amazing. Like people coming up who recognized me and like wanted pictures and stuff. Like that was mind blowing and humbling, and I'm just so thankful. Everybody's always so supportive, and my community's literally the best and so generous and so nice. So I feel like the luckiest person in the world to be here, hanging out, playing this stuff, and getting to hang out with all of these people. I always say, streaming and Twitch is a bit like, it reminds me of when I was a kid. Like sitting on your couch at your home, like after school, playing video games with your friends. Except I have like 500 friends on at the same time, right? But that's the kind of community I run.
Yeah, it's like a little family. It is super cool.
We just talk about our lives, and we play some Hearthstone in the background almost, right? It's more about the people and building those connections. So
it's great.
I know sometimes that sounds like silly or unrealistic, but that's legitimately what's happening.
No, and it's so true, and that's what's really cool, and that's what I love about our community too. Is there are the super hardcore competitive guys and gals that are just doing their thing, and they're doing great, and they're doing awesome things, and then there are people who like to play more on the entertaining side and hang out, and Hearthstone's still obviously the focus, but it's just really cool to see the different personality types that are showcased, and some really good people doing cool things. And so a couple more questions before we head out.
Sure.
So again, I asked Dave this, but again, Boomsday Project, it's been out for about 2 weeks, and like, are there anything in particular you'd like to highlight that you've seen the community, or even like your viewers point out to you of like, hey Regis, I've been doing this cool thing, playing this deck or running like this crazy combo?
No, I get a lot of that. I think I get messages every day, multiple times a day, like, check out this deck. It's something super exciting and crazy. Nothing in particular comes to mind as far as like what community members have shared with me. The thing I think I've attached to most so far are what I would call like rogue shuffle shenanigans, because my card reveal was Augmented Elic, as we mentioned previously,
right.
which is all about shuffling extra stuff into your deck. And then there's Academic Espionage, which is a crazy card that shuffles all these discounted cards into your deck. Lab Recruiter. Yep. All of these things just add up. And then Pogo Hopper as well for a Pogo Rogue style. So I think I've played probably 3 or 4 different variations of some sort of shuffle-based rogue deck.
Yeah.
And they've all been fun. The latest one we tried was a Seaphorium Bomber Shuffle Rogue. The card 5-mana 5/5. It shuffles a
cool. Yeah,
bomb.
I don't know if I've seen that much.
It shuffles a bomb into your opponent's deck that will eventually blow up when they draw it.
That's
so
awesome.
The idea is shuffling tons of bombs into your opponent's deck and getting them all to draw them at once and blow themselves out for like 25 damage. And in fact, I had a game, and this highlights on YouTube. You should check it out. We shuffled. We had 7 bombs in their deck, and they only had 8 total cards remaining. So we had 7 out of 8 of their cards were bombs.
So it's guaranteed.
It was not guaranteed. It was a 1 out of 8 that they didn't draw a bomb.
No way. Don't tell me that.
And we had lethal set up. So it would have been essentially a 35 damage burst if they drew them all in a row. But we only needed 3 bombs to go off, and they could have chained.
Right.
But sure enough, they drew the
one card
bomb in their deck, and then they played Shutterwalk that same turn and won the game. So it was like, no, and it was like the most awful, terrible, victory snatched from our hands at the very last second sort of thing. But it was still,
here you have it, folks. Here's what not to do. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No, but that's the thing is, like, it was still crazy fun. We had so much fun with it, and it was just the idea of it almost happening. And sometimes the failure, like, you can still enjoy your opponent's success. Like, even if it feels like, you got ripped off or you should feel salty or RNGesus or whatever is against you, that's okay. Like, you can still have fun and enjoy the hilarity and the absurdity of it. So
well, that was, like I said, I mean, the Blood Knight example that I brought up right when Boomsday dropped. I remember when I first saw that played, and I said I had a 9/9 against me on turn 3. I was just like, I had nothing to remove it. I had nothing to remove it, and again, it's so early in the game, I didn't have enough mana to really do much. Like, I didn't have Spellbreaker or anything in my hand that I could have silenced it, and so I was like, GG, great job. Like, well played. That was a well-played moment.
Sometimes you just got to laugh it off and queue up another game.
Yeah, and it's almost like, it's been cool, too. I've seen on Reddit a bunch lately of people showcasing, like, conversations that they've had where they added each other as friends, and it was just like, dude, that was awesome. That play you just made was so cool. Like, I can't even be salty. Like, you leveled me up, and that's really cool to get to see that positivity. So, all right, we'll do one more question.
Okay.
One more question, and then we're gonna host back to HGG.
Well, that's fun. I was sad, but that actually is pretty exciting. So.
That's it, right? So, a smile back on my face. That's good. That's good. So what puzzle type are you most excited about?
Oh, well,
and to play with your viewers too. That'd be super. Yeah, it's
frankly,
a cool thing.
all of them, right? They're all pretty cool. I mean, I think lethal and survival have the most connection to the real game, so that they resemble what you do in game. You try to stay alive, you try to kill your opponent. I guess board clear does as well, really. So those are the 3 that are kind of the most obvious. But for that reason, I think I actually like the mirror the best.
That's
because
mine.
Even though it's not something you encounter in game or you're not trying to do, it's not a win condition or an aspect of gameplay traditionally, that's what makes it kind of more interesting and more fun. It's first off, it's a new way to think about the game, which is fresh and exciting. But it's also just a new way to think about how to get better at Hearthstone. And even though it may not seem like it's making you better at the game or helping you learn, it still is in a lot of ways. So I think I'm going to have the most fun with Mirror just because it's new and different. And I see this microphone bumping, and I'm nervous, dude.
You're hey, man.
that Gorilla Glue is
We're good. It's trying to keep you on your toes.
Mirror is the answer.
Yeah, I would have to actually say the exact same thing. Super excited. Just a fun, different way, different take on the game that we all love, that we've all been playing. And that's super cool. So, again, folks, thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us. It's been super fun. We've had some laughs. We've had some failures that gave us laughs, and we had some successes that we weren't expecting.
Yeah, I'm actually, I think it went okay. I think I did better than I expected, honestly. I thought I was going to fail more often than we did, so I'm feeling okay.
That's good.
That's really
good.
What
we set you up for success. That's really good. But again, so if you guys haven't logged in, the Puzzle Lab is live right now. Right now, you can get in and get 3 free Boomsday Project card packs just for logging in. Literally just log in. You launch the game, get the card packs, and then open those babies up and jump into the Puzzle Lab and enjoy some really fun stuff. Again, there's over 100 puzzles to check out. We only went through, 10 to 15 of them, and those were really cool, tons of fun, and cray-cray, as they say. Ooh, nice rhyme. Gosh, sorry.
I gotta go, guys.
I gotta go too. I can't believe I just said that. Oh man. But anyways, over 100 puzzles to solve, and then you have the exclusive Boomsday card back that you can unlock when solving all these things. You know, you go into Dr. Boom's labs, and you essentially have your like final exam that you have to take, right? And you go through, and when you pass, you get this really cool card back. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Regis, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you guys,
thank you for having me. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you guys have not, you know, checked out his stream, please do follow, subscribe, support him. He's doing really, really great things. And to all you at home, we thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.